Let me show you how to truly make a card rise like it's pure magic. So I was recently working on a sponsored video for Theory 11, and I wanted to see how I can make a card rise up to kind of show defying gravity. And you know, it's for the movie Broadway show Wicked. So I came up with this method, which I'm sure was done before, and I think it worked pretty well. And given the fact that it's spooky hunting season, I thought it was the perfect time to share it with you. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and you already know what it's all about. So here's the rub. You're gonna need at least 3 playing cards, some tape, potentially some super glue, and some kind of thin elastic band. You can probably use an ordinary rubber band, but I wanted to go with something that was thin and clear, so I decided to use an elastic hairband. Got a pretty good pack for $4 from Walmart, so that means you can probably find a better deal somewhere else. Not sponsored. Oh, a scissor might help too. And with all of this, let's create some magic. So here's how the gaff pretty much looks and works. You have 2 playing cards that are attached together, one using the rubber band on the top back and the other on the top front. And you can see here I've taped them, used some super glue as well to put these together. And the way that it's actually going to work is you put a card right in between them. You're building tension as you push this card in the downwards direction. Then you're going to hold it tightly with your thumb and the back of your fingers here. And then as you slowly release, you'll see the card will magically start to come up, right? And that's really the effect that we're trying to accomplish building this gaff. Okay, that's it, bye. Nah, I'm just playing. Here's how we're gonna build. Grab your 2 cards first, as well as your rubber band that you're gonna be using. Now you wanna make sure as the rubber band is put on the card and stretched out to the bottom, you wanna make sure that it really bounces back to about halfway up the card, right? So if you have a rubber band, you may wanna cut it to a length where it's able to do that. So I have this elastic hairband, like I said, that I'm using. I'm just gonna cut that right in half. There we have it. And I'm gonna tape 1/2. So the way I'm using, I'm gonna take a 2 of spades here. I'm gonna take the top half, or I guess I'm gonna take the one side of the rubber band, and I'm gonna put it right on the tip of this spade here. So one part is gonna be glued to the tip of the spade. This is the one we're gluing to the front. And the other part is gonna be glued to the back. And like I'm using bicycle playing cards here. I'm gonna do it right at the top of this center design, right? So one's gonna come here and one's gonna come here. The way that I like to do this is I grab some tape. Let me grab some tape. I'm just gonna cut this tape in half because I really don't need the entire piece. Guess I'll put it here for now. That's what I used to always do in school when doing arts and crafts. So that's what we're gonna do. Now I take some super glue because originally I had done it with just the tape, and I found the rubber band was kind of slipping right out from below the tape, so that's why I decided to use some super glue. But if you have very strong tape, you know, feel free to do whatever you'd like. Now, the way that I'm putting the rubber band is, normally the rubber bands have like this kind of inward bend that you can see here. So that's how I'm putting it on. I'm putting one here and one here, so the inward bend is towards the center going down from the top of the card, right? So right about. Can you even see that? So kind of angled like this after we stick it onto one card. Get our handy dandy super glue here. Always be careful using this. I've glued my fingers together so many times. So I'm gonna put a small drop of super glue right on the tip of the spade right there. There we go, small tip, small drop right at the spade, or tip of the spade. Then I'm gonna grab my tape, put it on one side of the rubber band. There we go, I'm just gonna glue that in, and the tip of the rubber band should go at the tip of the spade or tip of the diamond, whatever you have, and it should be right on top of the glue. And then you just press that down. You're gonna let it dry for a bit, as well as, you know, just press it on, make sure nothing crazy happens, make sure your fingers don't stick, but really just give that maybe like a minute or 2, and you should be good to go for this card. Now, similarly, like I said, for the other card, you're gonna come here, come right to the tip. If you're using bicycle cards, come right at the tip of this center design, put that super glue in. Again, just 1 drop of super glue should be more than enough. Gonna cap it right back up. Then I'm gonna take my handy dandy tape here that we had dished before, do the exact same thing. You're gonna tape the opposite side of the rubber band. Make sure this goes on. I don't wanna give too much room. There you go, make sure that goes right on there. This one's gonna be a bit more difficult because now you can only, because now the other side of the rubber band is occupied by a card. So slightly more difficult to see. You're gonna tape that down as well, give it a nice little squeeze. Again, the glue might come out of the sides if you put too much, so just be sure not to make contact with the glue, otherwise you're gonna have a card stuck to your hand for the rest of your life. And again, give that like 1 or 2 minutes tops. Now that we have this all set up to go, let's just talk about some basic uses. And I'm sure you can probably expand way past this because you're so much smarter than I am. But I'm telling you, it's gonna feel so magical when you see that card rise right up. First case, let's just say you're doing this online for your friends. Grab your gimmick and an extra card, and you're all set to go. What you're gonna do is take these cards, of course they're attached, put that one card right in between them. just until you can't really push it down. Make sure everything is really lined up. And now you're gonna press both these cards together as you're pushing this card down, right? So you're gonna push that card down. You might see it bend a bit if you don't have these cards fully pushed together, right? So if they're a bit loose, this card will not go in. It's gonna bend back and forth. So you really wanna make sure you tighten this grip and then you push this card in. Of course, if you're building a brand new Gaff, the rubber band's probably gonna be a bit firm. So you really wanna break that in as you push all the way down. As you can see, mine's too firm. It's not going in. That's what she said. All right, but I got it pushed all the way in. And now you're really gonna hold it tightly with your thumb. And now you're gonna really lose pressure with the thumb very slowly, very gradually. You're gonna release pressure with your thumb and you're gonna see the card rise up, right? Gradually releasing pressure. And look at that, you're actually seeing the card come out by itself. And just this feels amazing in your hand. So just that effect, let's say you're doing this again for your friends on camera or something, push that card in. You see that was so much easier the second time around. And now you can use your hands as kind of like a magic wave, abracadabra, what's the thing? Wingardium Leviosa. Let that card just kind of fly up and look at that. Oh yes. See that card come right up. Then you can take it out. I like to kind of flick it and then just throw this all down on the table. No one's gonna see that down on the table. And also really, you can't really see the Gaff that well with these two cards because again, they're kind of attached. You can even spread them out like this. It's just magic. Now, let's say you want to perform this live. Have your Gaff on the bottom of the deck and then have someone select out a card from anywhere. Let's just say here, they selected the 4 of hearts. You're gonna give the deck a cut now and then put it back inside of the tuck case, right? Put it right back inside the tuck case. You wanna make sure, because this Gaff only works from this angle, right? It only works where the top of the cards or the rubber band is near the top. So you wanna make sure as you put it inside of the tuck case that that part is up top. You can close it, put it off to the side, and then you could do some kind of pattern, build it around, have them sign the card, do something, and then you say you're gonna put it back into the deck, right? So you put it back, you ideally want it facing the other way, and it's gonna be, by the way, it's gonna be a very open gap or open break where the rubber band is, so you should easily be able to find it and insert it right in. You wanna make sure you're not applying, or you are applying pressure, but you're not showing that you're applying a lot of pressure as you push this card in. So push that card all the way in, and you're showing them that it's getting lost somewhere in the center of the deck. Now, this is something I haven't tried, but maybe we can try even, and again, you have to apply pressure on both sides of the deck to make sure the card doesn't actually come out immediately. But maybe we can try also closing it. Let's see, let's try it out. All right, we can try closing up the deck. And now let's see, as we loosen our grip with our thumb and index fingers, let's see if the card kind of rises out. Okay, not ideal. Maybe you could even help it out by opening this up. And the card, I guess, somewhat rises. You know what? It didn't work. Let's just say you push it back in again. You show them the card's going somewhere right in the center. And maybe you can loosely close it. Maybe just something like this. Just loosely close like that. And then, no, actually, still pretty firm. And then you can kind of show, very slowly release your grip and show there's one card that's kind of rising up. And of course, there's only one card, and that's their selected card. Spooky. I'm sure there's so much more that you can do, but that's just the super basic stuff. And honestly, I can just sit here and do this for myself because again, it just feels like pure magic. There you have it, everyone. Try it out and let me know how it goes. I would truly love to hear your stories in the comments. And if you want to see some more Gaff building in the future, just let me know. We'll make it happen. And as always, a huge shout out to all my Patreon producers. We got someone new who joined this week. Evelino Spam. You're awesome. And thank you, love you, see you soon.